So I got one of those treadmills you put under your desk. Nothing fancy, it just lets me walk while I work. I've been using it for 30 days as an experiment, and I'm gonna share how it went. Five years ago, I wouldn't have had to get a treadmill because I lived here on the street in downtown Toronto. And I just naturally walked more on a typical day. In the morning, I'd walk to a coffee shop and work there for a bit. Then after an hour or two there, I'd walk to my co-working space. Later, I'd walk to lunch. And at the end of the day, I'd walk home. My commute was around 2,000 steps each day. But this all changed when we started a family. We needed more space and we moved to the suburbs. I never thought of myself as a suburbs guy, but I get it now. It's actually pretty great if you have young kids. There's less traffic, it's quiet. We actually have a good-sized backyard. And get this, we even have a driveway. We never had a driveway downtown. But here's the problem. I stopped walking once we moved to the suburbs. My iPhone has tracked my steps since 2017, and we moved to the suburbs in 2020. My steps went way down. And I can't even blame COVID lockdowns for this because it's 3 years later and my steps have never recovered. But it kind of makes sense. My morning commute is literally walking downstairs. It's not that many steps to my computer. And if I need to go somewhere, I drive. I drive everywhere now. Probably not surprisingly, I've also gained 15 pounds since we moved. And this all led me in an act of desperation to order a treadmill off Amazon and commit to 30 days of using it. Day one. So far, it's not really that hard, to be honest. Yeah, it's true. Walking on the treadmill wasn't like rigorous exercise, so I didn't feel fatigued when I was done. So in a way, it was easy, and yet I wasn't totally sold on it. Okay, I'm starting to feel a little skeptical about whether or not this will turn into a habit. I know every day I'm supposed to walk on the treadmill, but I keep deferring it to later in the day. So my new idea is every day at 10 a.m., that's my treadmill time, no excuses. Yeah, so this was big talk because I never stuck to the 10 a.m. rule. Instead, after a few weeks, walking on the treadmill just sort of settled into a habit. I'd just do it at some point in the morning for 20 minutes, and I'd get about 2,000 steps in. Okay, so I've discovered I can't do everything while on the treadmill. Coding? No. Email? No. They both made me feel nauseous, like a mild car sickness. Fortunately, design work, meetings, and video editing didn't make me feel so sick. Mouse fatigue was sometimes a problem too. My wrist would sometimes start to hurt if I was just using the mouse too much. But overall, it was nothing too bad, and by day 25, I had figured out what worked for me. Now you might be wondering, how annoying is it to set this thing up? It's actually pretty easy. First things first, you do need to raise your desk up somehow. And pull out your treadmill. Mine is pretty heavy, but the wheels make it easy to roll. Then you fold it out, step on, and start the treadmill with the remote. And begin your leisurely walk. Treadmill desks are not cheap. I paid around 650 Canadian dollars for mine. I didn't do a ton of research. I just bought one off of Amazon. And frankly, I wouldn't even recommend this treadmill. The main problem is that there's no way to turn it on without using the remote. Not a big deal, except I've had to replace the battery twice already, and it's not even 30 days. All right, there we go. That's 30 days. With the 30 days now over, I definitely have some thoughts on treadmill desks. So by now, walking feels like a habit. Like if I don't walk, I'll start feeling antsy. Like my legs will get restless because they want to walk. which is good because I'm not a disciplined person. For something to work for me, it has to become a habit. Like, I exercise 4 to 5 days a week and I'm pretty consistent with it. But I'm also not hardcore. Like, I'll bike for 15 minutes or I'll run for 15 minutes and that's my exercise. In order for me to exercise for like an hour, it has to be something fun, like rock climbing or like basketball. Relying on discipline just has never worked well for me. What works instead for me is I need things to become like habits. Take my standing desk, for example. I've had it for like 10 years and I use it consistently. I can feel when my body has been sitting too long and I just naturally switch the desk to standing. It's not a conscious thing. I don't set a timer or have it on my to-do list. It's just a habit. And I'm pretty sure the treadmill has become a habit. Of course, check in with me in 6 months, but I kind of think I'll still be using it. Maybe not every day, but often. Now you might be wondering, did I lose weight over these 30 days? And the answer is no. I weigh about the same. But that was never my goal, and frankly, I'm not above ordering a pizza late at night, so if I wanted to lose weight, I'd probably just start with the pizzas. I do still think it's interesting to contrast the treadmill with my walking commute. The treadmill helped me reach my steps goal, which is good, but I still miss my walking commute. Like recently, I met up with my co-founder to work together for the day. We got some sushi and took a walk over lunch, and when we got back to the office, I felt super refreshed, which makes sense. A treadmill is a good way to get more steps, but I also get something from fresh air and the change in scenery. But I don't know, I also don't want to romanticize a walking commute because I like working from home. I like that my kid can come over and hang out, and I like the suburbs. We're gonna be here for a while, so I'm thankful that I have this imperfect treadmill. It's maybe not a replacement for my old walking commute, but it's more than good enough.